I'm Dr. Alan Gruning, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about omega-3 fatty acids, the health benefits, and where can you get them. You've probably seen a lot of things on the news about omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil. Let me try to give you some of the clear facts about this. Omega-3 fatty acids are in the cell membranes of every major organ of your body. All of your cells need omega-3s to be able to build healthy cellular membranes. This is particularly true in your heart and your brain, which need a lot of these omega-3 fatty acids. Now, you can obtain these things from certain dietary sources. So, for example, flax seeds are very high in omega-3s. Walnuts are very high in omega-3s. But clearly, most of the time we think about fish. And it seems to be the cold water, very oily fishes that are very high in omega-3s. So, example, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, things that I don't necessarily like to eat, but when you take those fish and you distill down their oils, they have an incredibly high content of these omega-3 fatty acids, which are very helpful for our body. Salmon also has a lot of omega-3s, and most of us can at least eat some salmon. I like salmon. And salmon is very high in omega-3s. But again, we have a problem because the fishes that for the most part in our oceans and lakes have become very heavily contaminated with pollutants. So we can't eat a ton of these cold water, deep water fishes that often because we may be picking up a lot of other contaminants such as mercury and cadmium and other heavy metals, pesticides, plastics, things that we do not want to have in our body. So how can we get around that? Well, many people turn to fish oil supplements or omega-3 fatty acid supplements in order to be able to have these good omega-3s coming into their body, but not eating all these oily fishes. And again, nuts are a great source of this. Spinach is actually a very high source of this. And what do these things actually do for the human body? Well, clearly there are numerous scientific studies that show the benefits, the health benefits of omega-3s. It clearly lowers the incidence of heart disease and stroke. All kinds of vascular diseases are reduced. Hypertension is actually lowered. High blood pressure is lowered. And when we look at triglycerides, which are really the big problem with blood lipids, it's not so much cholesterol, it's triglycerides. When we look at that, omega-3s have an incredible effect at lowering triglycerides, much more so than most of the other drugs that are out there without the side effects. It clearly helps people who have depression and ADD and ADHD. All kinds of kids' behavioral problems are improved when they take omega-3 fatty acids, which is a great natural treatment for a lot of kids with behavioral issues. There are a lot of things with the heart, vascular system, brain, as I said, and there are even anti-cancer effects with omega-3s, and it boosts the function of your immune system. So everybody really needs these things. We're not getting enough of it probably through your diet most of the time, so taking a fish oil supplement or omega-3 fatty acid supplement is desirable for most people. Now let me clear up some misconceptions about fish oil. Fish oil is not omega-3s. When you read a label and says it has 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, you have to look at the label on the back where it talks about how much DHA and EPA, which are the important omega-3s, how much of that is in each 1,000 milligrams of a fish oil, because that's very important. When you go to a store and buy a cheap fish oil, you only may be getting 300 milligrams of omega-3 per 1,000 milligrams of fish oil. Whereas with a good fish oil, you may be getting 700 or more milligrams of omega-3 per 1,000. Considering that most studies say that you need to have about 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 per day in order to receive these health benefits, a cheap fish oil, you'd be having to take 10 of them a day. Whereas a really good one, like the one from Metagenics that we use in our practice and that helps promote this show, Metagenics 720 fish oil, you only have to take 4 of those a day. The other issue, too, is toxins in the fish oil. Fish oils are graded by an international fish oil society, grades 1 through 5. Grade 1 being really pretty bad, grade 5 being very pure and free of toxins. You want to have a grade 5 fish oil. You don't want to go and buy a cheap fish oil off the shelf that's loaded with mercury and pesticides and other contaminants and pollutants. You want one that's molecularly distilled and has a very pure quality fish oil that are free of the contaminants. And again, the one from Metagenics that I use, Metagenics 720, is one of those, or Omegagenics 720 is one of those that's very pure, very high concentration of omega-3. So again, omega-3 fatty acids are great for your body. Get them in your diet. Take a fish oil supplement, but take a good fish oil supplement in order to improve the amount of omega-3s that you have in your body. This is Dr. Alan Gruning.